All right, we're ready. Wait a minute, forgot to set my hiking app so I can see how far we went. Here we go. Record. All right, total. Here we go. Get that set. All right. Back into the Osmo. There we go. There we go. Now we're recording. All right, Wally, we're ready. Gonna take a little hike. Got the Osmo working. Oh, I forgot to turn on my headphones. That might be a good idea so you can hear what's going on. There we go. I'm the only one in the parking lot. That's always a good thing. I'm not even going to bring his leash since I'm the only one here. It'll probably be close to dark by the time we come out. Oh, there is somebody here walking across the dam. People park over on the other side and they walk over to here and walk back. It's basically just like walking down the road, except you don't have to worry about traffic. People bring their dogs and walk up there all the time. Don't see too many people walk these trails. Looks like they just mowed it, so that's good. This part's all paved. Goes down, does a big loop. But then there's trails that come off of that, goes back into the woods. Well, the paved part does a loop through the woods, but the other trails are going back in there. First, Wally's been out in probably 2 weeks. I've been camping. I didn't take him with me because I was going to be in bear country. I didn't want to bring him along. So I'm glad I can get him out. He's probably been going stir crazy at the house. He loves going in the woods. And he did this last time. He went back in there, carrying on. I don't know what he was going after. He started yelping and carrying on. I didn't know if something was getting him or what he was doing. Kept calling him, and I finally got him to come back out. Yeah. Hey, no. No, Wally. No. Wally. No. Don't bark at him. I know there's somebody up there. I know. I know you're being a guard dog. You just letting me know. He's got a really good nose on him. He smells where something's gone through there. There's a little lake over here. There's a trail that goes down to it, but they don't maintain it. Kind of hard to even see it because they don't clear it or nothing. It's been flooded out, so I don't think anybody's even gone down there in a long time. This is the trail that goes down to the lake, but it's, like I said, nobody's been going down there. I went down, that's where I found the prints one time, in the mud there. But it's been so flooded out, I haven't gone down there in a long time. With all the rain we've had. Kind of hard to even see it now. It's all grown up so much. You can see it in the fall pretty good. There's a clearing right here. I think you'll be able to see it. Yeah, right through there. I mean, it's a little lake, not real big. But that trail goes down. You come out right there where it juts out into the lake. That's where I found those prints that time. Yeah, it's been so muddy. I haven't gone down there at all this year. Seen people come down here to fish a couple times, but I mean, like maybe 2 times in 3 years that I've seen it. There's usually nobody here, which I'm not complaining about that at all. I like being able to just let him run. One time there was a guy that was up top there, and he had a big dog, a real big dog, like a German Shepherd, I think it was. And for whatever reason, he just stops up there and he's staring at us. And Wally, I think it was making him nervous because he's just standing there. Wally started barking at him, and I looked up at him wondering what he's doing. He waves, so I waved back, and he kept just standing there staring. And Wally started going nuts. Then his dog started fidgeting because Wally's barking at him because he's just standing there looking. Next thing I know, his dog starts carrying on and knocks him right down. He falls down trying to hold his dog. So we just went on. I don't know what his deal was. If he wouldn't have just stood there, Wally wouldn't even really pay much attention to him. He just kept standing there staring. One time before I had Wally, is when I had my other dog, Tank. We were coming out of the woods, coming along here, and I heard a real loud stick break back in there, right back over there. Let's see, I was down farther. Forget about where I was at. Tank was about right here where I'm at now. Just like doing like Wally, just running around smelling everything. And we were on our way out, coming back the opposite direction of what I'm going. And it was in the summertime. This time of year, I was somewhere right in here, I think. I think I was about right here. Well, no, I was a little farther because there's where the trail comes out, where it loops around. I came around the loop and we were coming out. So I was somewhere like right in here. I hear this big stick break back in there. And I was looking like, what was that? And I walked up a little farther and looked. And I see what looks like a person, but it's all black color. Go back behind the tree. And I thought, oh, this is it. This might be it. So I'm watching. I hear more sticks breaking. And I'm like crouching down, trying to get a better view. I got my phone out. I'm videoing, keeping an eye on Tank, making sure he's not interfering or going after it. And then I see him come out again, and it's a person. It is a person, but he's wearing all black. But I went back and talked to him for a second. It turned out, I don't know if he's homeless or what, but he was camping back in here, and he was getting ready to start a fire. So he's breaking up sticks. But that's the first time I ever saw anybody camping back here, because I don't think they really allow it, but I'm tempted to do it myself. I've seen a few people back here camping now since then. They don't allow hunting. They don't really maintain the trails too well, so I guess you add all that together, that's why I don't see too many people back here. I mean, I do see people fishing a lot, but they fish down from the dam where the road crosses. There's a bridge there. That's where most people fish, seems like. Up here's where that big branch is that fell. Right after me and Wally walked under it. There's a pretty good sized tree right there. That's pretty close to 5 foot diameter. Big old tree. There's some big ones down here. Probably see a deer. I see deer almost every time I come in the evening. There's a tree across the path. That wasn't here last time. Got blocked off, Wally. Snapped off right there. You can see there's some teens that go riding their quads through here all the time. And I've noticed where they ride, there's a lot of, seems like there's always trees across the path. Looks like it's been pretty recent they rode through here. See, here's another one across the path. Oh, Wally's must have heard a deer or something. Oh, you hear something, Wally? I didn't hear it. Yeah, like I said, I've noticed where they ride, these trees just keep appearing across the path. So they got it, the gate there, the parking lot, and the sign says no motorized vehicle. But they, apparently the Park Service sold off some of this land to them, sold the biggest lake to them, and they're the ones that rides. They come across from where they live. They come across over here and ride over here all the time, even though they act like it's their land, but it's public land, part of the park. Never found a print other than right there by the lake. All the times I've been back here, I've been back when it's snow on the ground, and I always check this mud. Anywhere I go back in here, I always look. Never seen anything but deer prints or raccoon. So, I don't know. I don't doubt that something might pass through here once in a while, but I don't think anything's living back here. There's been a bunch of black bear sightings here recently, like not too far out of Dayton. First time since the 1800s. There's been a report of black bear sightings. Maybe we should just do to them like they always do, say, well, it's probably a Bigfoot. It probably wasn't a black bear. Because that's what they always say. It was probably a bear. It's a nice place to walk, though. I do like to hike back here. I've been all over this. It's only a couple 100 acres. And I've explored most of it. It's just a good place to bring the dog. I did come back here, I think it was last summer. I don't know what that was. Started noticing stuff like this. It's like a stick in a fork of a tree, which is, not that unusual. But I started, after I noticed the first couple of them, I kept looking. I counted like 30 some of them along here. Like hanging in a fork of a tree or just leaned on the ground in a fork. And some of them were like up inside the tree where they couldn't have fell there because the canopy over top, it couldn't have just fell there, but they were like tucked back in the tree. I don't know. It was right along here. I started noticing them. And I started counting them. I think I was in the 30s, just in this small area. I'm sure that probably a lot of them were natural, but I don't know. It just seemed like quite a few to be in one small area. And like I said, some of them were up in the tree where it didn't look like it could have just fell there. In fact, if I wouldn't have been really looking hard, I probably wouldn't have even seen them. Some of the ones up in the trees. But it was like this stick here. See, that one's hanging by the fork. Right there. It's all along here. There's one in a fork hanging. I mean, I'm sure a lot of that's natural, but when you just start seeing them over and over and over, you kind of gotta wonder. Something just fell over there. Always looking in the mud just in case. Love to find a nice big footprint in the mud sometime. These are real small, like a child shoe footprint. There's where a fork of the creek goes back, ties in. I was wondering if there was beaver back here because it's all jammed up back in there. Looked like some beavers might have been starting to jam things up. I don't know. What are you doing, Wally? Across the creek right here. Sometimes it's totally dried up. It's pretty easy to cross right here. Yeah, it's not very deep at all. Sometimes, like I said, there's no water at all. You just walk across the gravel. No, don't drink that. Hey, don't drink it. They had a no trespassing sign back that way a little ways. I think that's where their property starts, where they bought it off. Big sycamores here along this creek. This must be where they like to just do donuts, I guess. Big round spot. Might just go ahead and walk back to that big tree. Kim was going to go, but she looked at the weather. Said it was 84 degrees. And she said, nope, I'm not going. Too hot. Doesn't feel too bad back in here, though. Back in the shade. Of course, I've been out camping in some of this brutal heat, so I guess I've kind of built up a tolerance to it. I don't like it, but I've gotten used to it. That's another place where you rode your quads and trees across it. Used to be a tree across over there on that side. Over there. There's a tree across, so then they started coming around this side. Then there's trees across here now. What do you think, Wally? Good to get out again, isn't it? Huh? Are you having fun? Don't go in the mud. See, they keep this all torn up riding through here on their quads. Another tree across the trail. That doesn't really block them though. Some big trees back here. This trail's wider than it used to be. Looks like they have kind of been back through here with something. Kind of smooth this trail out. You can see they rode through there. I get kind of aggravated with them riding through here. Man, these mosquitoes are eating me alive. Man, everywhere. Getting ate up bad. Another tree across the trail. You see they've rode through, trying to make new paths or something. Block their path. Look at this. Kind of getting the impression that something don't like them riding through here. Guess we'll have to go through here too. I wonder if these trees were down since they started coming this way. I don't know. Well, that's down across the path. I mean, that almost looks like building a wall across it. This sure is quite a bit in one spot. Man, these mosquitoes are eating me up. I definitely am not a fan of summer anymore. Much rather come in the fall. We don't have all these mosquitoes. Cooler weather. Don't have to worry about snakes. You can see a lot farther. Might hear the... No, we probably won't. We're pretty far away. I was going to say the country concert. Get here from our house. This creek is Laramie Creek. And it runs up into Lake Laramie State Park. Made a lake out of it up that way. North of us. It runs right past our property. And up there in Laramie, they have a country concert, pretty big one, every year. It's going on right now. Can hear it real good from our house. It's about, I don't know, 4 miles up the road, 5 miles up the road, something like that. And you can hear them. Deer carrying on back there. I don't see him, but I hear him. Sound of the alarm. Don't like us coming through here. Here's another spot where tree across the path. They started going around on this side. Another spot where they rerouted because of trees. There's one of the big ones. Another big one right here. Video probably don't do it justice as to how big these are. That's pretty close to 4 foot diameter. There's lots of them back here. A lot of them way back in there. Still don't see new tracks. If I do find a perfect one, Wally will probably step all in it. There's a spot somewhere along here where I like to go down to the creek. Really nice view. The other trail I hike is on the other side at the top of that ridge, going along there. Heard something over there. Probably deer. More trees across the path. More trees across the path. Kind of gotta wonder when it gets to be beyond a coincidence. Something just fell over there. I think it was a nut. Big old walnut maybe. Fell from that tree. Just got a smell of something. Just real quick though. It's kind of like a skunk smell. I don't know. I just got a quick whiff of it. Don't smell it now. This creek changes all the time. Down there's where I go. Usually, I think I go down right here. Walk along the gravel bank. Used to come out right there where that big root ball is right there. Right there. There's a big old log laying there. There's a big rock on the opposite side over there. Right in the middle. You all right, Wally? See, that's a pretty good sized tree right there. Even bigger one on up here that we're going to get to here shortly. Yeah, I was back in here one time, around this time of year. Walked back through here with the dog. I don't think it was Wally, I think it was Tank. But I walked along here, and I got back there a ways, I think about to the tree where we're going. Turned around and was coming back out. So it hadn't been that long. But as I was coming back out, I kept seeing, let me find a good example here. All along the trail, I was finding, pull one of these off, something like this. So, where is it? Right there. That little twig with the green leaves. I was finding them all down through here. I mean, there's a whole line of them all down the trail. Deer carrying on back here. Anyway, they weren't there when we were going in, but on the way back out, they were all along the trail there. Whole long line of them for about 20 feet or so. There's probably about 9 or 10 of them, just laying there on the trail. Wasn't windy or anything. And usually the end of a green twig doesn't just break off for no reason. That was kind of odd. I don't know what that was about. See if we'll see that deer up here. Just carrying on. There. Wally finally noticed it. Did you hear that, Wally? I'd say, oh, look at that big tree across the trail. See, none of these were here last time I was here. None of these trees. Can you make it, Wally? Yeah. What is that, Wally? Do you know what that is? I don't know where it's at. Thought it took off, but must still be hanging around. You hear it, Wally? Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Trying to tell us to go away. Don't like us being back here. It's been a while since I've been back this far. So I guess I shouldn't say, well, I mean, those trees weren't here last time, but it has been a while. I don't always walk all the way back here. But some of them trees early on, they weren't there last time. And that hasn't been that long ago. There's more. Wow, this is all grown over now. This used to look just like the rest of the trail. Unless we've rerouted. It's all grown over. I guess they're not riding back here. Thought I heard somebody riding now. Well, that big tree is right along the creek here, so we should be coming up on it pretty soon. I think this is the old trail because it seemed like it went right along the creek here. The creek's right there. Gets thick back in here. Come down here in the fall, you can see all over real good. It's all thinned out, but yeah, here's where they do their big turnaround, it looks like. Another tree across the trail here. Big tree. That's probably why they started doing that turnaround. Got their trail all blocked. Definitely none of these trees were here last time. I walked right through here with no problem at all. Yeah, there's trees all over. There's the big tree. We were almost there. This is where we were heading. That tree, 21 foot around it. I brought a tape measure back, measured it. Big old sycamore. It's 21 feet around there. That left side is 17 foot around, and that is 15 foot around. Big old sycamore. Sycamores like water, so they tend to be near a creek, kind of like willows. And when I was camping with Jay Burke, and we were talking, I think I showed him a picture of this one, and he was mentioning about, I guess I never thought about it because my dad did a lot of woodworking, that woodworkers, you really don't hear of them using sycamore. I don't know what the reason is, if there's something with the grain or what the reason is, but I never thought about that. Because he was saying that he thinks that's why there's so many of these big trees left that are sycamores, because they weren't really used for woodworking. It's the only reason they survived. So all the big maples and oaks, they're pretty much gone. Walnut. Ones that are commonly used for woodworking, building. Alright, we're close to an hour. I'll go ahead and stop it here. Should we hike back out? I wanted to show you the big tree anyway. Brought all my grandkids here to see it. A lot of them like to get up there in that fork when they take the picture. Maybe I'll put some of those pictures at the end of this video. Wally just took off over there. It sounded like a big stick breaking when he went over that way. I don't know where he went. Huh. There he is. Did you see anything, Wally? What'd you go over there for? Huh. What's over there, Wally? Huh? I mean, he wasn't on a dead run like he was chasing something. He just started trotting off that direction. And when he's heading over there, it sounded like a big stick breaking.